Hi guys, today we are going to learn about Blue Prism installation. Why we choose Blue Prism, what is RPA, these all in different video. We will create a different video for that and we'll share it for you for your information and review. So let's start with Blue Prism installation. This is one of the leading tools in the market right now, and everyone talks about Blue Prism. There are endless opportunities about Blue Prism RPA tool. Most of the companies are hiring Blue Prism professionals. So we'll see all of them as we go further in this training. So before that, I would let you know what do you require to install Blue Prism on your laptop. First, Blue Prism being a Windows-based software, you need Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows XP. 64-bit is preferred, which we will be using in this training program. So I'm using Windows 7 as my preferred OS, 64-bit. Then second one you required is Blue Prism installation software. That again can be 64-bit or 32-bit depending on your OS. You can request about Blue Prism software to Blue Prism directly, and they may help you with the installation file for a trial version for 15 days or 30 days. Third thing is the most important thing which we would require. We would require a Blue Prism license file, which should be used to licensing your software, and after that only you would be able to work on this. And the fourth and most important thing, one SQL Server instance. So I'm using SQL Server 2012 Express Edition for the training purpose. You can use any SQL Server instance above 2008. That again can be 64-bit or 32-bit depending on your OS. So let's go about installation. So I've downloaded all the files here. This one is the Blue Prism software. This one is the license file. And this is the SQL Server. So before moving forward, you need to have SQL Express installed in your system, then only you would be able to install Blue Prism. So let's get started with the SQL Server installation. You can get the free version of SQL Server from Google. You just search it like this. You search it SQL Server 2012 Express Edition, go to the Microsoft website and then select you just click on download and then select this Express Edition one, the first one, and then click on next. It will be downloaded to your system. So once done, you will get the installation file and we need to install it. So you double click on it, click on run, and the installation process will start. Takes about 5 to 6 minutes to get the installation done of SQL Server, and on top of it you will install Blue Prism application and then link it to the existing installation of SQL Server. So you see here you do a standalone installation. Blue Prism you can install on an enterprise level as well, but for our training we are doing a standalone installation. So we will also use new SQL Server standalone installation. If you have already any of these versions 2005 or 2008 of SQL Server installed on your system, you can either upgrade or you can do a new standalone installation as well. So the setup had started. Let's see. I accept the license. Send feature usage data to Microsoft. Just check on these boxes and click on next. Click on next again. Now it will set up and install SQL Server on your local machine. During installation you need to note down few values which you will use to integrate Blue Prism's application to this instance of SQL Server. So we'll see those as we move forward in the video. If you see the details, so instance feature, you need database engine services, you don't need the shared feature. So anyways, just put it as default and note down the directories and click on next. So this named instances and instance ID, these two things you need to note down. The instance ID is SQL Express all in caps. We will just note it down so that we can use it for our linking the Blue Prism application. So I will just note it down in a notepad. Exact name and named instance also I will note it down, and then click on next. So you note down here, server database engine is authenticated by NT service and server browser is authenticated by NT authority local system. So anyways, we will not change anything now, we'll just click on next. So here I will keep Windows authentication mode so that SQL Server can use the same login ID which I use to log into my system for logging into the SQL Server instance, or else you can put server authentication, Windows authentication as well, depending on your preference and choice. So for me, Windows authentication works good, so I'll use that and click on next. So again, next. Now the installation had started properly. It takes 3 to 4 minutes. By the time this installation completes, you can have a cup of coffee, guys. So just chill. It does not require a lot of knowledge to work on Blue Prism or any RPA tool. Just if you are good with algorithms, that's enough for learning RPA, any of RPA tools like Blue Prism, UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Workfusion, Pega, or anything. So it's not rocket science, it's pretty easy. If you are good with algorithms, you can learn very fast and you can virtually automate every application that you can think of. The main benefit of RPA, as you might be aware, is it sits on top of your IT layer, so you don't have to worry about complex integrations. You just need to create a logic which should behave as a human user. So basically, if you can do a task on your particular machine, any of the RPA tool, any of the process created in any of the RPA tool can do the same task as you do and in the same manner as you do. The only difference between a human and this RPA automation is RPA does not have brain, wherein a human has a brain. So there are multiple theories going around on the internet that RPA is going to take away a lot of jobs. I don't think so. RPA is basically going to create more jobs, and it is going to take out the boring jobs out of market. Who wants to do data entry, by the way? No one wants to do. So those things can be replaced by RPA, and the human freeing up by from the data entry job can be used for better productive jobs. So I think RPA has a lot of opportunities. It has opened up a lot of opportunities and a whole lot of new things to be explored, and it also can be seen as the first step towards data science and AI related stuff. So more about that later when we proceed further in this training tutorial. So we are waiting for our SQL Server to finish, installation to finish, so that we can start Blue Prism installation. Okay, so it's almost finished. If you see the status here, everything is succeeded. So now we can safely close this window. Next thing is what we need to do is to install Blue Prism software. So this one is the installer. I'm going to run it now. So simple, pretty straightforward. Next installation. I agree to the terms and conditions. Next. This will be the folder wherein your Blue Prism is installed, so take a note of that as well. It will be helpful later in the training, so use that. Now here, do you want to install it for every user that logs onto this machine or just you? For me it's just me, so I'll click on next and next. So it will hardly take 30 seconds to finish it. Okay, so Blue Prism is done. So now we need to install the license. So this is the Blue Prism shortcut which has been placed on your desktop. You can double click on it and you will see a login prompt wherein you need to configure the connection to database and install the license. So when you open Blue Prism, it gives you an error. You must specify a database connection before Blue Prism can function. So we need to configure the database connection. So we click on configure here on the right side of connection. We name this connection as, let's say, test connection. We are using SQL Server, so we will use SQL Server Windows Authentication. You remember we selected Windows Authentication while installing SQL Server, so that's why we'll give Windows Authentication. These things are used when you go on an enterprise level, when you have a lot of bots which needs to be connected to the database through a application server. That time you will use Blue Prism server. Availability group is again multi-robot setup. So for standalone installation, we need only these two, either of these depending on the configuration you selected during our SQL Server installation. So for us it is Windows Authentication. I need to specify the database server. So my database server is localhost/SQL Express. You remember the named instance ID we kept? This one, SQL Express. We'll put it here. Localhost is the host of your machine, local machine / and SQL Express the instance ID. Then the database name, you must specify any name that you want to you can give. So for us, let's put it Blue Prism training. So once done, it's good that you test the connection. It says that your database Blue Prism training does not exist, so you need to create the database first. So for that, please make sure you click on OK, not on cancel. If you click on cancel, this settings will be not saved. You click on OK, settings will be saved. So you click on OK, wait for an error to occur that database does not exist, and then you can create a database. In the newer versions of Blue Prism, this thing has been taken care of. When you specify the connection string or when you configure the database, at that time only they have given an option to create the database. So in this version we don't have that. Anyways, so the error says could not connect to database test connection because this database does not exist. So we need to create that database. So for that, you go on to file menu, go to create database. You can see here the connection name is saved as test connection. Database name is Blue Prism training, and you have to create it. Just click on OK. You will get a prompt, database created. Right, you got database created. So click on OK. Now if you go on configure and you do a test connection, you will see database is valid. Right, so just click on OK. Now default username and password are admin. Once you click on sign in, it will ask you to change your credentials, so you have to create a new password. So you set a new password as per your choice and click on finish. So you get the prompt, password has been successfully amended. Click on OK, and voila, you got your Blue Prism installed. Now you see all these things are not highlighted because you have not got the license installed. So you need to install the license first, so that you will be able to access all the features of this Blue Prism software. So to install the license, you have to click on System tab and you have to click on Install New License. When you click on Install New License, it opens a dialog prompt. So here you navigate to the license file where you have kept, click on OK, click on Open, and you get a success message, license key successfully updated. Yeah, so now you can see all these are highlighted. Now you can use everything. So this is it about the installation of Blue Prism on local machine. In the next video we will see what all these tabs are and how do they work. Thank you guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel and share it. Thank you.